Who from Yeovil and Nottingham Forest will progress to Wembley. It's Arron Davies! It's a fine save! Jones had to try and get back. Did he get the ball? No! Penalty! It's Cohen against Mildenhall. It's 1-0 and first blood to Nottingham Forest. Stewart's there, hits the post! Forbes has dived in, it's another penalty! Perch, 2-0, and it's a great advantage to take to the City ground.
They won't need reminding. Nottingham Forest are the only European Cup winners ever to take part in the playoffs. They last played in them 4 years ago when Forest were 2-0 up with half an hour remaining and still went out. At the same time, Yeovil were winning the conference to enter the Football League. Now their paths cross in the race to reach the Championship. In the Coca-Cola Football League playoffs, League One semi-final second leg, it is Nottingham Forest 2-0 up against Yeovil.
And both teams are unchanged from the first leg. Forest manager Colin Calderwood keeping faith with Gary Holt and Scott Dobie. David Prutton, who's recovered from illness, is on the bench, along with Grant Holt, no relation, who had a thigh injury. Holt scored in both the league wins against Yeovil this season, but misses out despite the fact that Dobie hasn't scored in 21 months. Russell Slade was pleased enough with the efforts of his team at home last Friday to name the same starting 11 again. Chris Cohen was a doubt with a slight strain, but it's considered worth the risk to go with him for what could be Yeovil's final game of the campaign. They have 31 goals shared this season between their front four. Top scorer Wayne Gray, Welshman Arron Davies, veteran Marcus Stewart and Lee Morris, who can expect a frosty reception for his connection with Midland rivals Derby. Well, the Yeovil travelling contingent believe. Do their team believe as well? It's not unprecedented to turn around a 2-goal deficit in the second leg of a playoff semi-final. 3 teams have done it before in this division, but only Bradford City have done it away from home, winning 3-0 at Sam Allardyce's Blackpool. It's a question of upsetting the odds, overturning the final league positions for Yeovil. It's back to their roots, their non-league days when they were giant killers supreme. Here's Guyot for Yeovil, looking for the captain Nathan Jones. This is Arron Davies to Anthony Barry. Jones again. The header went awry from Chambers, it fell to Morris. Stewart has managed to dig that one out. He was caught late by Commons, and the free kick is given. Jones and Barry over the kick. It's Barry who looks to test the goalkeeper. He got a clear sight of that and fell on it gratefully.
That's a good idea, why not? Just try and test him out early in the game.
There's Perch. Dobie looking to leave it behind. Got a shove from Scott Guyot, who protests the decision. Well, Commons scored a penalty in the first leg. When he tends to score from other situations, they are pretty spectacular, and he's one of the volunteers who stepped forward for this.
And the other one could take a mean free kick as well, McGugan.
It is McGugan who hits it, and it's fisted away by Mildenhall.
No real confidence there from the young lad, was there? He has got the ability, the confidence. The wall's not the bravest. Mildenhall does well in the end because it has come straight through the wall.
Forbes is the last man back here for Yeovil. Now Lindegaard. Morris. Guyot. Not a bad attempt from Scott Guyot, who hasn't scored this season.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's not a bad effort for a centre-half. Steadies himself, takes it very early, good first touch, and that's only just gone wide. You say centre-halves can't strike. It's the target, and Smith scrambling, he saw it wide for the post, but watching bombing forward for Aston Villa. Him on one side, Steve Stonehill for his play on the other. Oh, joy to watch in that system.
Here's Leicester. By Cohen. Stewart rolls it into the path of Arron Davies. Morris makes a move for him. Davies! And Yeovil have hope! The tie is now back in the balance as the deficit is halved.
Well, that's where I said the danger would come from. He was a danger in the first leg. He pulled that save out of Smith early in the game. He cuts in so well. His pace gets him away, but where's the defending? Where's the fullback gone? It's a long way out. Nobody closes him down. That's a terrific strike. Drills it hard and low. But the defending, not the best, you have to say. Comes through a lot of bodies. Smith cannot see it. Checks inside, a bit of acceleration. Gets it on target, and that's the important thing. Look at the delight. Forest fan there, but he wants his team desperately to get back in, and I think they've acquitted themselves well. They've been disciplined in what they've done in this game so far. They've not gone gung-ho. Look at the support they've got there over the moon. And the one thing I said that could cause Forest problems is the directness, the pace through midfield. And now the pressure mounts on Forest.
But here's Jones. Lee Morris. And it's struck against McGugan for a Yeovil corner.
Well, they're rattled at the moment, Forest.
And taking the corner here, Arron Davies. Stewart!
Well, what a strike this is. And you just know this man can pull something out of the bag. It's good technique. He just goes over the bar. Smith sees it over, and look at the manager's reaction. He must be delighted with his team. So far, not had to work in from open play, and 26 minutes in already.
Touch for Stewart. There's Dobie. He's trying to keep him out there, but Dobie's got the edge on him. Leicester's in the middle, but he's going to look to go all the way, and it's just right.
That's terrific ability. The second favourite to get onto that ball, but that's desire for you. That's lifted the crowd. Does ever so well there. Gets towards the edge of the box. He's only got Jack Lester there, tries to curl it far post, and you've got to say, why not? Spots the corner, goes for it, just doesn't hit the target. Very few options for him, apart from Jack Lester there. Well, he's the man who's given Yeovil hope. Doesn't he do well? His technique's good. Concentrates on just hitting the target, not knocking the spots off it. Drills it hard and low, and he's giving his team a big chance now to get back into this tie.
Davies. Morris. Stewart. Lee Morris! Great save, Stewart! Wonderful reaction! A great double save from Paul Smith.
Brilliance, absolute brilliance. Don't they know it? Terrific build-up. Morris this time does make the right choice. Lovely 1-2. Look how big he makes himself up. But look how quickly he gets back up. You think Stewart's just going to tap it into an empty net after this save. Gets up, and look at that for a save. That is sheer brilliance. He thought it was in.
Here's McGugan. Now just rolling it into the path of Leicester. And Leicester allowed to turn. Guard comes in. Leicester went down looking for it.
Well, they're playing for a penalty. Jack Lester turns, does well. Knows at Forbes, gave the one away. This time, just gets a piece of the ball. And Graham Poll, what a great position there.
Barry. Here's Gray, who was down injured a moment ago, but there goes the half-time whistle, and if Forest thought this was going to be a comfortable walk towards Wembley, they are very much mistaken. Arron Davies has given them plenty to think about with his goal, and Paul Smith with a fine double save has kept Forest in it. But at half-time they trail 1-0, though they do still lead 2-1 on aggregate.
And Forest, you know, in 1.5 games so far, have only had 3 shots on target, 2 penalties and a free kick, so none from open play. We're back into the second half again. Gary Birtles and Rob Hawthorne.
Well, Yeovil so far have lost every away game against other sides in the top 6, except at Blackpool, where they drew. But a win alone is not enough. They need another goal from somewhere. So at the moment, Forest are still pointing Wembley way. But there's a very nervous 45 minutes ahead before they can claim their place once and for all. He's trying to swing it in. Jones saw it all the way though. That was Perch. Breckin helps it on. And now Forbes up against Leicester.
Well, he gave one away, didn't he, in the first leg? Forest fans howling for a penalty there. It's the pressure from Jack Leicester that caused a problem.
Gugan's corner, and it's in! And it's Scott Dobie with his first goal in 21 months, who's restored Forest's 2-goal advantage.
It's all about the quality of the ball in the box. Said it first half. The quality's there. You give your strikers, your centre-halves, the chance to attack it. And doesn't he attack it well? Jumps well, keeper in no man's land. McGugan's ball in, pace whipped in. Mildenhall comes nowhere near it. You see him here, and he has to get back. Can't get back quick enough. Textbook header. There, he's lost it. Downward header. Look at the Trent end. Absolutely over the moon. Mounted to climb again for Yeovil. Just what they didn't want. Goal early in the second half. What a response from Forest. Must have been some team talk at half-time.
Well, there may have been some raised eyebrows when Dobie was included with Grant Holt available again. But he's justified his selection well and truly now with that goal. It means the situation is as it was at the start. And the Forest fans are relieved and happy.
How do Yeovil respond? Do they go flat? Do they feel sorry for themselves? Think they're out the tie? I've got to believe they've still got a chance.
Leicester tries to curl it, curls it wide.
Well, Forbes led him there. You saw exactly what he wanted to do, and the gap just opened for him.
Lee Morris turns it on to Stewart. Here's Davies, how they need him to flicker back into life again, Yeovil. Curtis and Perch doubling up on him now, though. Making life extra difficult, but he's pretty durable. Great perseverance from Arron Davies, but equally so from Curtis. He got his cross away magnificently in the end to Gray.
Oh, what a fabulous little passage of play that was from Davies. He turned everybody inside out. He sent the stewards the wrong way in that far corner there. Terrific. How many times does he do this? Give Curtis credit. He sticks to his job. Perch is there to help. Again, checks, goes back again. How many twists and turns of that in that far touchline? Again he goes. That's fantastic play. Close control at his best, then delivers.
Will it break for Guyot? No, it's away by Breckin. Barry. Stewart lets it run. Davies, the danger man again. Gray! Wonderful stop again. Morris! And somehow they've kept it out. Real pinball, but the goalkeeper save again, crucial. It's another free kick Commons has given away, and Graham Poll was straight in there to stop it getting out of hand. Chris Cohen went straight over to Commons and reacted badly. Graham Poll took a note of that, and he wants to see him as well. It's a yellow for Commons.
Well, what about this man? How big a part has he played in this tie? It takes a deflection. Look at that, low, gets down so quickly. And look at the look they get there, right, smashed against him. But this is the save again. Hits it well, comes through a body, instinctive save yet again. Big man gets down so quickly. And they ride the look on the second occasion, and they thought they got back in it again.
And it's a return to action for David Prutton, a man who's made a return to the City ground on loan from Southampton. He was ill for the first leg, but he's getting the last half hour or so here. And it's his corner. Prutton. Chambers followed out there by Cohen, who concedes another.
A little bit of footwork there from the centre-half.
Commons with a kick this time, and Perch came flying onto it.
Should have scored, shouldn't he? Or should have hit the target at least. Again, it's the quality. Give your players a chance to attack. Does everything right, but doesn't get it under the bar. Lovely ball away from the defenders, away from the keeper. Just hit the target. Yeah, some of these playoffs have been absolutely fantastic. Compulsive viewing, the turnarounds, and the elation 1 minute, devastation the next.
Here's Lee Morris. Barrett. Gray! Pushed away.
It was a more comfortable save this time for Smith, but he's still had to make it.
Here's Perch. Driving run by Perch. Leicester! And it's Prutton going for the follow-up. And Forbes just watches it with relief to safety. Here's Barry. Morris, Lindegaard up on the outside. Cohen. Stopped by Perch. Yeovil have an injury problem. Chris Cohen, who is a bit of a doubt anyway tonight. He's got a nagging hernia problem, which is a legacy from last season.
Yeah, looks like he's been hurt in that area again. It was this little incident here. Perch, terrific block. I think it was just a stretch for the shot, and then he goes down.
Because Chris Cohen's replacement is Jean-Paul Kalala, who in his Grimsby days under Slade scored the goal that put Tottenham out of last season's League Cup. Nathan Jones, just a running pass. He stood his ground, but is not going to book him for that. Stewart into the path of Gray. Stewart again.
Well, it's a half chance again. Brecken consoling Marcus Stewart. He looked to be in here. There was a slip just there, but doesn't recover well. Again, the skipper comes to the rescue, but Stewart will be disappointed he didn't hit the target.
Here's Jones. Stewart with the touch. Now Lee Morris to give Yeovil late hope. The goalkeeper at the moment just looks unbeatable.
Well, again, it's a lovely little bit of interplay between Morris and Stewart. Does everything right, drills it hard and low. But again, he keeps his position so well and breaks the hearts of the Yeovil supporters yet again.
Grant Holt. Oh, Guard slipped. Leicester could be in. Prutton's over to his right. And it's Grant Holt. And cleared by Lindegaard. Here's Lindegaard. On by Kalala. This is Gray. Lee Morris. Challenge. Davies. Kalala to have a go, and it's off the post, and it's gone back in off right. They're back in it again, with under 10 minutes left.
Well, for once he is beaten. They're trying to get the ball off Smith. Again, Davies involved in a big way in this goal. Checks inside, lays it back, and what a strike this is. Thuds off the post, and right, unlucky, it's bounced in off him. Smith can do nothing this time. Davies again teasing, tormenting. What a decent strike this is. Beats Smith, all ends up, and they get the look, bounces in off the unfortunate right. And what a nervy last 8 so minutes.
Confirmation that Lee Morris was actually booked in the aftermath of the goal because he was desperately trying to wrestle the ball back from the goalkeeper. Here's Stewart. Now Lee Morris. It's Davies who's come onto it and finds himself blocked off by Curtis.
Well, he thinks maybe obstruction at the least.
Oh, he's talked himself into trouble. Yellow card.
Well, again, his direct running, bursts onto that one. Definitely blocked off. It's obstruction, definitely.
Well, he has to be applauded, and so do his team, for the effort they've put in over the course of the whole season, and they're still refusing to give up the possibility of their first ever trip to Wembley. A club that was only just getting to the conference 10 years ago, just as Nottingham Forest were falling out of the Premiership. They've made a real good contest of this over the 2 matches, and it's by no means over yet.
Well, what do we say about some of these playoffs? Absolutely fantastic.
Here's Leicester. Well, he was trying to put it to bed once and for all, but straight at the goalkeeper. Here comes the Major Oak to try and shore things up for the remaining 5 minutes. Wes Morgan's going to be sent off. Jack Leicester is the man coming off.
I think he's been terrific tonight, Jack Leicester.
As it's their free kick, he had all the time in the world this time to convey whatever messages he needed to. Russell Slade's focus of attention after that substitution was to get a message over to Andy Lindegaard. So Stewart's head. And right, the unfortunate player debited with that own goal that has restored hope for Yeovil. They've come so far in this season, they're not prepared to give it up easily. Wright is there with the header away. Gray barries onto it, still looking sharp. Cross blocked by Alan Wright, and here's Lindegaard. In goes Stewart! They've only gone and done it! It is level on aggregate! 3 minutes to go, and Yeovil have pulled it out of the fire!
Well, Forest only got themselves to blame. They gave it away. Alan Wright could have played the ball down the line, let it run out of play, gave possession back to Yeovil. Quality ball. Don't close him down, let him put it in there. Smith decides not to come right in between the defenders, and Marcus Stewart is so good in these situations. Just concentrates, downward header, and Forest to be majorly disappointed with the defending here. You've got to defend better than that, but give them full credit. Battled back into this game, and look at Russell Slade. Gee, I mean, what a reaction. Passion for you.
Well, it's the sort of passion that's energised Yeovil this season, and which has brought them back from seemingly the dead. It looked a virtually impossible task when Forest got off to such a cracking start in the second half, and they don't want to throw it away now. Well, Grant Holt lets the goalkeeper know he's around. Well, if it was down to away goals, Yeovil would be as good as through, but it's not. We're heading for extra time, possibly penalties as well, unless either side can win it. Can Forest recover from their despair?
There's only one team on the up at the moment. One team in despair, one set of fans in despair. We've seen them throw it away. They have, at the moment. So close. We saw it against Sheffield United those few years ago. They don't want to see it again.
Well, the despair written all over his face and his hair. Now Brecken. It's won back by Marcus Stewart. Is there to be a rousing finale from Yeovil? Cut out by Curtis just as Morris was taking up a position.
Well, there's been a big problem created in Forest as well. Dobie's gone off, Leicester's gone off, Brunton could be sent off.
Referee's gone towards him to brandish a second yellow card, and as if Forest's problems weren't bad enough, they're a man down. David Prutton sent off.
Well, rash, he knows he's been on a yellow card. You can't lunge in like this. You really can't. And here we see him. He's an all-action player. He is committed. That's late. That deserves a yellow card. It deserves a sending off. Well, the silence from the Forest supporters speaks volumes. I just think it's the substitutions that have caused the problem.
Well, where's your money now in this extraordinary roller coaster of a playoff? Forest 3 minutes away from Wembley when Marcus Stewart got the goal that has earned Yeovil at the very least extra time, brought despair to Colin Calderwood and Nottingham Forest, who will face extra time a man down after David Prutton sending off, and that in itself will greatly encourage Russell Slade. It really has been a brave heart display from the men from Somerset that could carry them all the way to the final despite Paul Smith's heroics.
And the problem for Forest, you just mentioned Grant Holt, not fully fit, the only striker on the pitch now. And for Forest, and Jack Lester's gone off, and Dobie were doing a good job. And I think if Forest stay as they were, they stay and win this game, because Yeovil has still got to be positive and go forward and leave gaps. What Forest did by substituting the strikers was encourage Yeovil on.
Morgan, that's fallen short. Morris is in here. Lee Morris for Yeovil. It's the final insult for Nottingham Forest as a former Derby man scores the goal that could rule them out of the playoff final and take Yeovil there.
What is that man in your picture doing? What was he thinking? No danger, didn't have to do what he did. Give Morris credit, he persevered. Look at this, sloppy to say the least. That is absolutely awful. Morris, you thought the chance had gone, but he gets round Smith, and that, you have to say, is Forest out of it. Keeps his calm, does well, drills it hard and low. And look at him again, the Forest fan, but his team over the two legs have created the more chances. The Forest keeper has kept his team in it, and it's just all gone wrong, totally. And look at that man's face, and he knows he could have just dented all the hopes. I feel sorry for the goalkeeper, Smith. He's been absolutely unbelievable over the two legs, and he's had no help at times. You have to go back to the substitutions. You've lost your strikers, then Prutton gets himself ridiculously sent off, makes the task even bigger, and then they give a sloppy goal away in the first couple of minutes of extra time. But give Yeovil the full credit. They've been an absolute revelation for me in both ties.
Job not done yet. Gary Holt! They've levelled it on aggregate. Suddenly the outcome is in doubt again.
Well, can you believe this? You couldn't write this. You couldn't predict this. But look at it happening again. 10 men get back in the game when they look down and out. And Yeovil will be livid with the way they conceded this. They thought they were there, they switched off. So good downward header, and he gambles. Gary Holt gambles. This is intelligent, lovely header down. Keeps his calm, doesn't try and blast it, side foots it in there, and they're back in it. Absolute quality tie this is. And how do Yeovil feel now? They know they've got a man extra. They know they were in the ascendancy, but all of a sudden it's up in the air again. They look like they've got 11 at the moment, Forest. It's about concentration now for both teams. Mentally tired, physically tired. Just got to conserve energy.
Well, where is your money in this one? The playoffs never lose that capacity to surprise. Here's Marcus Stewart. Behind Gray, cleared by Perch. Barry, deflected across, Stewart's there again, it's a fine save again from Smith.
Well, they switched off Forest, it came through to Marcus Stewart, it's a good strike. But again, look at the keeper with his angle spot on again at that near post. Who'd be a fan? Who would be a fan?
Can't believe that poor old Smith has conceded 4 goals as well with the performance that he's put in.
Unreal.
Could have been much, much more when you think about it.
Couldn't have done anything about the goals.
Stewart!
Well, we never stop talking about this goalkeeper.
And Commons could break! He's got to do it on his own! Grant Holt, though, is bursting forward to try and get there! It's a yellow card for Lindegaard.
Well, Commons breaks forward on his own. Didn't look to be any contact there. Graham Poll saw the intent. What about this for a save again? Drilled in, intelligent corner, hit with power, and again, instinctive. It's a good height, but again, his positioning is so good. Well, don't know what that is. That nervous tension? No, he feels. Barry.
Now Jones. Away by Breckin.
I think he caught a knee from Grant Holt right in the back. See Holt go in, use the more confidence, not a knee, it's a foot. That's a poor one. That's hurt. Believe me, they hurt.
Forest then were operating with a front two of Alan Wright and Chris Commons.
Not going to win that many in the air, is he, Alan Wright? It looks as if he's struggling a little bit. That's why he shoved him up there.
There's Commons. Well, it's a worry for Nottingham Forest because Colin Calderwood has used all of his substitutes. He's lost one of them, David Prutton, who was thrown on by Calderwood and then sent off, so no scope for resting anybody now.
His team has still got a big chance. Fatigue will set in with Forest. They've got an injured player in right as well.
Here's Jones, and it's cleared by Chambers. Commons couldn't prevent the corner. It's Barry's ball in, great challenging for it, great takedown. And there is the turnaround, and Nottingham Forest relieved to reach that turnaround. Still level on aggregate. Russell Slade, Nottingham Forest fan, on the brink of beating the club that he supported as a boy. The club that he supported at Wembley when they were in the League Cup final back in the late 70s, 1978. He was there for the replay as well against Liverpool at Old Trafford.
Oh, what can he do, Alan Wright? What can he... No, look, he's saying don't switch off. Keep focused.
Well, for one of these two teams, the season could come to a dramatic halt in the next 15 minutes. Or if it stays this way, we'll go all the way to the drama of a penalty shootout. And if we get there, for Forest, it'll be a roll call of those fit enough to take one. Morgan. Guyot. Free kick to Forest.
Seemed a soft one, that did. But that's exactly what Forest wants.
Commons with the kick. Weldon Hall to try and assume command in that situation. Here's Lindegaard making Forest backpedal. Davies looking to help it into the path of Morris. He's found him via the deflection. It's Arron Davies. He could win it. He probably has won it for Yeovil. That could be the last blow that Forest, punch-drunk Forest, can possibly take. And the men from Somerset are celebrating. Wembley beckons.
What a cool finish this is. They get the little bit of luck here. Bounces off Commons. But a lovely ball by Morris. Good first touch. Gets it away from his feet. Good firm ball, terrific first touch, sidesteps, and that's a cracking finish. And a look at Russell Slade. Not quite the elation of the previous goal, because still feels there's something left in this game. But how can Forest bounce back from this? Look, they're over the moon. They feel they're going to be walking down Wembley way, and he's been majorly influential.
Well, it's the man who started the revival who could well have completed it. It took a while to restart, but Yeovil now well and truly are on their way. Or so it seems. Scott Guyot may just have given Forest a chance, a glimmer of hope to get back into it again.
You don't want to give them any glimmer of hope. Just put it in the stands. Don't try and be clever. Put it out for a throw-in. All about quality now for Forest. Got to keep it away from Mildenhall.
Chambers going in for it, and Gray was back there helping out. Morris screens it from Curtis. They're away again here. Davies is on the break. He's got Barry up ahead of him. He's got Kalala breaking too. He could take it all the way. Wonderfully timed challenge, though. It was Commons who got back.
We'll give Gary Holt all the credit there. Commons did get back, but Gary Holt stopped that happening. Problem for Forest as well if they don't make it, and it doesn't look like they're going to at the moment.
Header down. Grant Holt. He's won the corner.
Well, just when you say they're not going to make it, comes a chance, and his first touch was far too heavy. Well, he was going to take it early.
Corner whipped in. Breckin goes for it, but gets underneath it.
Well, he doesn't deserve to be on the losing side of the two games. Led by example.
The referee's just blown to intervene in a potential problem here, and Grant Holt has shown a yellow card for that confrontation with Guyot.
Looks like he's asking him for a little bit of a go after the whistle's gone.
Well, that's ill-advised, with Graham Poll still hearing every word that's uttered. Two minutes added on. That is how close now Yeovil are from making their trip to the new Wembley and their place in the League One playoff final.
And in that respect, you have to say they deserve it, Yeovil.
Stop the bars with cider. Yeovil Town are on their way to Wembley for the first time in their history. A day of desperation for Nottingham Forest, brought on them by a Forest fan. Russell Slade measured in his celebrations at this victory, but Arron Davies is the hero of the hour. He started the comeback, he completed it. But Forest faces tell the story of a trip to Wembley that slipped away from them. They were 3 minutes away from claiming their place in the final when disaster piled up on top of disaster. Marcus Stewart levelled matters to bring extra time. Despite Lee Morris scoring, Forest levelled it again with Gary Holt. But with David Prutton sent off, Alan Wright struggling through to the end through injury, Arron Davies pounced again, and it's the men from Somerset who are celebrating. And over the course of the two matches, you have to say they merit their place in the final.
Without a doubt, they've been the better side. They've created more chances than Forest. 1.5 games into this, they'd only created, well, they created not from open play, 2 penalties and 1 free kick. So you have to say Yeovil thoroughly deserve it.
Well, how do Forest rebuild from this? Their despair in marked contrast to the joy that Yeovil Town are feeling. Where's Morgan with that loose back pass? A contributor in a way to Forest's downfall, and some of the despair from Forest fans spilling over into dissent towards the players. A fair amount of abuse was taken then by Morgan as he left the field. But the joy here is with Yeovil Town. The job not complete yet. There is still a final at Wembley to contest, but Marcus Stewart, who scored in the last playoff final at Wembley for Ipswich Town, is going to be back at the new Wembley on the first weekend of the playoffs back there, and his goal played a vital part in getting Yeovil Town to that final.
Well, big players, big occasions. Didn't he step up to the mark? Bad defending from Forest to let him get in between and get a free header. But look at those fans, and look at his smile there. What a magnificent job he's done, Russell Slade. Look at the tears, understandably so. Favourites for automatic promotion, and rightly so. The squad they had, they've lost key players. Tyson's out, Agogo's out, but they had a big chance in this game to get there. But I think negative substitutions towards the end of the match cost them.
Well, for all of Yeovil's joy, Russell Slade, who takes the acclaim there rightly, has been fairly measured here with his celebrations, partly because he knows that there is still a job to be done in the final, and partly, I'm sure, because there is still a lingering affection for this club that he supported as a boy, and he doesn't want to rub it in at the City Ground too much. But he must feel immense pride in what his players have achieved. 2-0 down from the home leg. They came here, they kept bouncing back from the setbacks, with 2 goals from Arron Davies, an own goal from Alan Wright, and goals too provided by Marcus Stewart and Lee Morris. They finally conquered Forest on an extraordinary roller coaster of an evening.
You have to give them credit, because Paul Smith performed heroically in 2 games, and they must have thought, what have we got to do to beat that man? But they kept at it, they kept going, they kept believing, and they got the rewards. They just had more options going forward from midfield, pace and creation, and they stopped Chris Cohen's playing as well. And look at that poor young lad.
Well, for him it is agony. For them it is ecstasy, and it is destiny Wembley. Andy Lindegaard, who's been with Yeovil through their climb from the Conference and from League Two, and they can see the Championship in their sights now. And the Forest fans here showing a great measure of sportsmanship by a round of applause to, let's not forget, a former Notts County manager, Russell Slade.
That's brilliant from the Forest fans. They appreciate what they've seen from their opponents. Russell Slade's got his team passing the ball. They play a nice positive way. They've got pace in the right areas, and you've got to give him credit for what a turnaround he's made to this football club. Look at that, for fans applauding the opposition.
Well, a really enjoyable trip to the East Midlands from Yeovil, and Slade, I'm sure, will be making the cry to come on, feel the noise at Wembley when Yeovil are in town for the League One playoff final. Tomorrow will determine who they play there, but for now they can toast their success. And what a success! 5-2 on the night, 5-4 on aggregate.
How do the playoffs keep on doing this? Unbelievable stuff. Marcus Stewart, 34 years old, as excited as a youngster, as a teenager. The elation on the fans is amazing. Yeovil have scored 5 goals away from home to win this playoff semi-final. Nottingham Forest can look forward to playing Leeds United in League One next season. But Yeovil go on to Wembley.